Welcome to this morning's meditation. Happy June 7th. It's a beautiful day to be here. It's a beautiful day to be part of this community. And this community is grateful for you. We will have a 20-minute meditation followed by church that starts at 10:30. Join me by wiggling in your seats. Move your shoulders up to your ears and then down. Feel a cord drop from your spine to the center of the earth. Allow that earth energy to now pull back up through your spine and come out through your head and send your love and joy out into the universe. Anchored in truth and beauty. Let us begin. As this meditation draws to a close, I will recite the unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The peace of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful Sunday. Have a beautiful week. Join us in Fellowship Hall. Service starts at 10:30. And so it is.
Before we begin our service, let's light a candle for peace. With the lighting of this candle, we bring into this room the peace that is the foundation of the deeper truth that runs through everything, even when the world outside feels uncertain. Let us take this moment of silence together to honor our feelings and open our hearts to move this peace within and then shine its light out into the world. So 10 seconds of silence. Let the music begin. Good morning, everyone. Happy June. My name is Marcia Bencala, and I'm a member of your ministerial staff here at CSL San Jose, and my pronouns are she and her. And in the spirit of joy and family today, I welcome you to our Sunday celebration. And this being June, there's lots of things to celebrate. So this morning, I'm going to bring out Pride Month. Yeah, this is the month when we honor and acknowledge our LGBTQ plus community here and globally, remembering that the divine expresses through every form in love and truth. And as we begin our service, if you could please make sure that your phones are muted, I'd appreciate it. And now I'd like to call up our practitioner of the day, Lena Chavez Soria, who is up here on our platform for the first time. She will bring us our call to service.
like to invite you to go within to the sacred place of the Most High. Taking a nice deep breath, grounding into the seat where you are. Giving thanks and praise for another opportunity to tap into the prayer that never ceases. Knowing that there is no spot Spirit is not. It is in and through and around and as me and each and every one of us, here and now and for all eternity. It is in every being, everything. It is the warmth of the sun, the glow of the moon. It is every drop of water, every tear, every beat of every heartbeat. It is the music. It is our smiles. It is the warm embrace from a friend. It is the blooming of the peonies and the colors in the rainbow. And in this truth I know, this service today is already blessed. This circle that we are in is divinely ordered here and online as it ripples out for the greater good. Knowing that we are surrounded by love, we are anchored in love. May all beings be nourished and loved. May all beings be nourished and loved. May all beings be nourished and loved. And may peace and justice continue to prevail on earth, knowing it begins right here and right now, the way that we choose to live our lives. And with deep and abiding gratitude, I let it be, knowing it is true, letting it go to the creative law that is always saying yes. Join with me in saying, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Lena. That was beautiful. As we open our service today, we gratefully acknowledge that we pray, learn, serve, and grow on the traditional lands of the Tamian Nation. We give thanks for the opportunity to gather as a faith community on these lands. And we offer our respect to their ancestors and their elders and to all Bay Area Indigenous peoples, past and present. I mentioned Pride Month earlier, and the spiritual truth of that and all inclusivity is that we all belong to each other. This calls for us to be inclusive as we celebrate and embrace our unique identities, whether that be abilities, age, ethnicity, gender identity, national origin, physical characteristics, race, religion, or sexual orientation. As we celebrate, we also affirm to remember that our human magnificence is so much more than the labels we give to ourselves or to others. And at this moment, I'd also like to acknowledge everyone that is involved and has volunteered to serve today to put together this service. We give you a heartfelt thanks. And today, we also realize that there are a lot of ways in which you can feed yourself spiritually. And we are grateful that those of you who are here for the first time are with us today. We welcome you, and if you are here for the first time, and if you feel comfortable, would you please stand so that we may welcome you and give you a welcome packet. Thank you. Greetings, welcome. Yeah, we're so glad that you're here with us. You could also consider filling out a connection card, which you will find in the seat in front of you underneath it. And you can either fill it out and put it in the offertory basket later or take it to our concierge desk after service over in Fellowship Hall. And you can please join us for nourishment and fellowship after the service. And now it's time for our statement of being. You will find that on the slide or in your bulletin. Would you please stand together and we'll say our statement of being together. We believe that life is good, that God is all there is, and that love is the only power. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family, bringing the gifts of active compassion and kindness to the world. Our purpose is to transform lives and build dreams and reveal God through education, music, prayer, service, generosity, and play. And while you're still standing, turn and say hello to somebody next to you. Lovely music. Thank you. Thank you. As everybody wanders back to their chairs. I hear online we've got a few stragglers here. Well, actually a lot of stragglers. All right. I am privileged to introduce our featured musical artist today, Pamela Page. Pamela, she is a violinist and a vocalist with strolling and concert performances that blend elegance with musical storytelling. Pamela has been recognized for her contributions to music education and performance, including an American Pen Woman Award. She is active in San Jose music community, mentoring students, leading ensembles, and bringing classical music to diverse audiences. Let's give a great San Jose welcome to Pamela.
God gave you this gift, and it's not a gift until you give it away.
Thank you, Pamela. That was beautiful. Beautiful. I don't think we've had very many strolling musicians here. I don't think so. Thank you. And now, with her message, What is True Belonging, is our own Reverend Nadene Rogers.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. That was beautiful, Pamela. Oh, yes. Huh. I am so glad to be here, as always. You know, we come here as we do every Sunday. I come here as I do every Sunday, whether I'm here or back in Canada, to center myself in the openness of what is possible. You know, Ernest Holmes talks about we are open at the top, and it's not just a phrase. That's our work. That's our work. It's to be open and available to receive the guidance from Spirit that lives right where we are at all times. If we are truly going to contribute individually and as a community to a world that works for everyone, we cannot even imagine what that looks like. We think we know, and we're on a good track, a good path. We've got some great ideas, but infinite mind has the best ideas because everything exists within it. So part of being open at the top is not only being open to spiritual guidance, to listen, but be open to ourselves before we can be open to another. So I wanted to talk about, as we continue cultivating inclusivity, this idea of belonging. You know, as a spiritual community, and even, any community, whether it's religious, spiritual, or corporate, where it's up, right? Inclusivity, equality, justice. You mentioned it today in your treatment. Thank you. What does that look like? What does it even mean? Is it welcoming, being welcoming? Is it being loving? Is it showing love? Is it being kind? Is it being respectful? Is it being honoring? Yes, yes, yes. Check, 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 check. Right? Are we that way with ourselves? Maybe a few checks. You know, are we, and what about in our own mind? Right. So, again, there's the work, and from inside grows the communication and the expression of that integrated idea of loving oneself, of owning and honoring oneself, of being centered in oneself. That means spirit, the spiritual nature of who we are, the nature of all being, and our own God-given, unique, individualized expression as human beings. Human beings. We just finished a clown course after about 3 months yesterday here, and we got a lot of costumed crazy people. So my hope is that maybe they'll love the work of fully expressing themselves in costume. And maybe I just plant the seed, no pressure. Plant the seed to be a little clown troupe for different events, outreach, parties that we have inside the center. So you might be seeing some crazy people walking around that you don't already know and that you may not be able to identify because of their costume. But clowning is an art of the heart, and as many of the students have found out over these last months, it's about relaxing into oneself so that you can express all of yourself spontaneously. Now that may seem easy. You all know it is not, right? So for me, true belonging in that spiritual sense is the experience of being at home in our own soul first. And then that's how we meet the world from that grounded place. It's not about fitting in or being accepted or matching a group's expectations. I think it's the opposite, actually. I think it's the deep recognition that you already belong because you exist and nothing outside can grant you or revoke that truth. There was a recent book released by an author, Dr. Rami Kaminsky, and it was entitled The Gift of Not Belonging, and I was very intrigued because I'm open at the top and because I'm a rebel, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to look at this. So because we're in the conversations of cultivating inclusivity, this idea of not belonging might seem really juxtaposed. But for me, it says that try as we may to make others feel welcome, they aren't seen as, they aren't seen as others, rather, with that heartfelt intention of including them. We can really never know what creates a sense of belonging in another, only in ourselves. So that being said, I have come to believe that a sense of belonging is 100% self-managed. It's not a gift given through intention, circumstance, location, religion, friendship, or family. We alone create a sense of belonging within ourselves through our awareness and acceptance and care for the gift of God that we've been given. Now, a couple of weeks back at our Superstole Sunday, practitioners Spencer and Elizabeth spoke to belonging. And they said it was a relationship with self, or the God of our understanding. And I believe truly that this is really the only place a sense of belonging, let alone well-being, can be birthed or sustained. So when this book ad came across my social media feed, I checked it out. Now, the book explores the distinct personality style of an autrovert. Anyone heard of an autrovert? I had not heard of one. There's always something new coming up, right? So Dr. Rami describes an autrovert as someone who lacks the communal impulse and does not fit in with social groups, regardless of its members. And he describes it as revealing all the advantages of being an autrovert on how autroverts continue to contribute to the world. So if you were the kid who never wanted to go to summer camp, if you preferred spending time with friends one-on-one than go to parties, if you would rather forego your vacation than travel with a tour group, and if you often engage in acts of silent rebellion against group norms and traditions, you are likely an autrovert. So Dr. Kaminsky had been studying this personality style for over 30 years. And he explains that while autrovert enjoy deep and fulfilling one-on-one relationships, within groups they feel a little alienated, kind of uncomfortable, and sometimes actually alone. Unlike introverts, who crave solitude and are easily drained by social interactions, autrovert can be quite gregarious and rarely tire from one-on-one socializing. And unlike loners, or people who have been marginalized based on their identity, autrovert are socially embraced and often popular, yet are unable to conform with what the group collectively thinks or cares about. And therein lie the great gifts of being an autrovert, when you have no affinity for any particular group. Your sense of self-worth is not conditioned on the group's approval, ideology, and best of all, you know no other way to think other than to think for yourself. Wow. Now we're in spiritual community, and what mostly draws us is like-minded people, right? Caring, loving, welcoming people. But as a religious scientist, which is what we teach, we are meant to be individual, original thinkers. We are meant to think for ourselves. We are meant to embrace others who do not think like us. Interesting. That's why I wanted to read The Gift of Not Belonging. So we have extroverts, we have introverts, we have introverts. Spiritually speaking, we may think that we're all one or the other. Maybe introverts, now that you've heard that term. Well, perhaps we are closer because it encapsulates both ideas of introvert and extrovert. So maybe that's why we might check out this book and introverts. But I want to ask you this question. Do introverts and what I've described them as really embrace our continual becoming? So I created another term. I don't like any of those terms. I'm now referring to myself if asked, and I don't like labels, but I am calling myself an I-traverse. I'm an I-traverse. So in a spiritual sense, traverse means to journey through an experience, a stage of life, inner landscape, or a spiritual path with awareness and purpose. It implies more than simply moving from one place to another. Spiritually, actually traversing, the definition, involves passing through challenges, uncertainty, or transformation. It implies exploring different states of consciousness, beliefs, perspectives, allowing oneself to be changed by the journey rather than merely reaching a destination. I traverse means trusting the path even when the destination is not yet visible. So an example would be mystics who traverse many traditions, finding wisdom in each without becoming confined to any one of them. That would be Dr. Ernest Holmes. That would be religious scientist, which we are. Now, in many spiritual traditions, life itself is seen as a traverse or a sacred passage through joy, suffering, loss, love, and awakening. And the emphasis is not on arriving somewhere final, but on what is revealed and transformed within us as we move through that journey. So, as spiritual seekers and in service to the greater good, perhaps we might consider holding ourselves as akin to being I-traverse, as we neither become confined by the experience, our own experience, nor draw our sense of belonging from any one relationship or community. So here's a story of an individual of integrated centeredness and inner peace, and how they learned to express within a community of like-minded, but maybe not really so much, community. It's called the Circle of the Village. In a small coastal village, the people gathered every month in the central square to discuss matters of the community, kind of like our town hall meetings. Now, these gatherings were meant to be peaceful, but, over the years, they had become a little tense. Voices overlapping, tempers rising, people speaking from fear or habit rather than clarity. Now, one season, a traveler named Amaya arrived. She had wandered for years, searching for a sense of inner steadiness, always hoping a new place or teacher would give her the peace she longed for. When she heard about the village gatherings, she asked the elder Leora if she could attend, and of course Leora said, "Yes, come. But before you speak, listen, not to others, but to the quiet inside yourself." So the first gathering was at the next meeting, and the villagers began as usual, interrupting, defending, pushing their ideas forward, and Amaya felt that familiar pull to react, to fix, to prove. But she remembered Leora's words and placed her hand over her heart and just took a slow breath. And as she settled, something subtle shifted. She didn't withdraw. She simply became still in herself. Now, a few villagers noticed, and they felt her calmness, was like a stone dropped into water, with the ripples reaching out without a word. And one by one, the voices in the room began to soften, and people paused before they spoke. The conversation, once very chaotic and passionate, began to flow with just a natural rhythm. Afterwards, a villager approached her and said, "What did you do?" "I didn't do anything," Amaya said. "I simply returned to my center. When one person stands in their own inner ground, others remember theirs." Now the second gathering came, and at the next meeting, the tensions, they rose again, this time over how to share water during a dry spell. And arguments started to flare, and old resentments started to surface. Amaya felt the heart in herself, but also the heat of the moment, which tugged at her. So instead of reacting, she closed her eyes briefly and breathed into her belly, letting her awareness settle like sand in a jar. And when she opened her eyes, she spoke, not to persuade, but from her own inner clarity. "We all want the same thing," she said, "to live well together, to succeed, to be prosperous. So let us speak from that place." Her voice wasn't loud, but it was steady, and the steadiness spread, and people began to listen, not just to her, but to themselves. The solution they eventually found wasn't perfect, but it was shared. And more importantly, it was reached from a place of collective calm. What the village learned over time, the villagers realized something very profound. When even one person is centered, the whole community remembers how to breathe. Amaya did not become their leader or their teacher. She simply lived from her inner ground, and in doing so, she helped others find theirs. The village gatherings became peaceful again, not because conflict disappeared, but because people learned to meet conflict from a deeper place within themselves. And Amaya discovered that belonging to herself was not a solitary act. That belonging to herself was not a solitary act. It was a way of being that allowed her to belong everywhere without losing her center. Dr. Ernest Holmes says we must be born out of the belief that we are separated from God into the belief that we are part of a unitary wholeness. Another relevant passage from Holmes is, when we let the love that is within us go out to the God who is in all people and the divine presence that is in all things, then we are loving God. Because we are recognizing that spirit within us is the same spirit that we meet in others, but we must first meet it within ourselves. True belonging comes from recognizing our participation in a larger wholeness. Now, aloneness can be enjoyed. It is different than being alone and feeling lonely. We can be different in so many ways when we look to ourselves for our centeredness, our inclusion, our sense of belonging. We can celebrate our uniqueness, which embraces our diverse way of seeing and walking in the world. And then when we're in community, not be off-put by either being alone, not fitting in, or in a diverse community or social setting. We can feel that we are one with ourselves and belong everywhere. We can also feel very alone in a group of people because we can't find out how to fit. So think about who you are. You know, we are complex in the nature of our personality, but we are similar in the foundation spiritual nature of being. Now, I've observed in myself and I've witnessed in others that our angst is quite often motivated by both the need to connect and the belief that we don't fit in. You can see how they push against each other. When we want to fit in, we often sacrifice or fail to honor what makes us unique. Yes, sometimes we get out of touch with the gifts that we are, the gifts that we've been given to share. And I believe this is a major cause of our loneliness in a crowd. We hold ourselves back and often wonder why no one steps forward or recognizes our value. The gift of not belonging is that we don't try and adapt to others' ways, but we rather spend the time in contemplation of our own complex and beautiful and the color of our uniqueness. And then we can be anywhere. We cease to be defined by outside opinion or influence. And I think we've come a long way in mastering our own judge and jury, having always the verdict be, we're not guilty. You know. Here's a second short story about the search for a like-minded tribe in order to feel a sense of well-being within oneself. Because we do come to places like this in order to learn, to grow, to understand, to do deeper work, to be supported, and to be accepted just as we are. And what we think that means is however we show up in our personality self, our human self. And that is correct. But just who we are also means we are enough because we exist, because we are the individualized expression of God. So if we meet each other just personality to personality, well, you know what happens then sometimes. But when we meet ourselves as spiritual brothers and sisters, we also have the experience of where two or more are gathered. So the story goes, a woman spent much of her life searching for a place where she truly fit in. She joined different communities, followed different paths, and adapted herself to the people around her. For a while, each place felt promising, felt like home. But sooner or later, she found herself out on the edges again. Too thoughtful for some groups, too unconventional for others, never quite at home in herself. And over time, she began to wonder if something was wrong with her. Now, one evening, after another painful goodbye, she sat alone on a hillside overlooking the town. And an old gardener who tended the nearby grounds noticed her and came and sat beside her. And she said, "Why do I never seem to belong anywhere?" The gardener was quiet for a moment. "Perhaps," he said, "you were not meant to belong to just one place." The answer felt disappointing. Seeing her reaction, the gardener pointed toward the town below. He said, "Look carefully. As darkness settles, lights appear in the windows across the valley." And the woman recognized herself in those windows. In one house lived a friend she had encouraged through a difficult season. In another lived a family she had helped after moving away from their neighborhood. And across the town was a teacher whose life had changed because of a conversation they had years before. And scattered throughout the valley were people from every chapter of her life. "You keep measuring your life by where you stayed," the gardener said. "But look at the lives you've touched as you passed through and you traversed your journey." The woman watched the lights flicker in the darkness. The gardener continued. He said, "You know, you thought your gift was finding where you belonged. But your gift was carrying something from place to place. Hope, kindness, wisdom, friendship, because you never settled into one circle. You became a bridge between many." The woman, she sat silently for a long time. And for the first time, she saw her life differently. What she had called not belonging was not a defect. It was a calling. I think that's what Holmes is asking us to do when he says, "I am not religious science, you are. Be open at the top. This is our calling. It had allowed her to leave a little light wherever she went and to discover that home was not a place she needed to find. It was something she had to carry with her. So to cultivate inclusivity, we must first honor our own uniqueness and find that centeredness of belonging within, to radiate that light wherever we are. Likewise, to cultivate inclusivity in community, we must see and honor the diversity outside of ourselves. Seek to find our peace within our genuine interest and celebration of that diversity. And at the same time, demonstrate loving welcome that comes naturally to a member of our one spiritual family. And so, let us remember when we're trying to find out how to fit in, or even where this community, like many, are asking the question all around the world. It's not reserved for spiritual communities. It's any community that is built around a belief that calls us naturally forward into our greater becoming. How do you create an organization around that? Dr. Holmes never wanted an organization. He wanted a teaching. He wanted individual growth. He wanted the inspiration of one light lighting another and leaving a ripple effect. So how do we do that at Centers for Spiritual Living San Jose? How do we remain open at the top and take the work that we do with the science of mind and other mystical teachings to find that sense of belonging within us so that we can remain freely without fear and attachment open at the top? This is the question, whether it's a church community, a family unit, a long-time relationship, a parent and a child, wherever there is deep and abiding attachment because there's sweet memory. How do we do this? Let us pray. We come into this moment, this high holy moment, which Spirit has made and laid before us, within us, as us, to recognize its vibrancy, its truth, its expansiveness, its allness, its infinite wisdom and infinite love that is the wellspring and the sustenance of our life, the birth of every new idea, the one that inspires us, motivates us, has us take that quantum leap, has us withdraw into the silence of our own heart, allows us to find our own center within ourselves so we can find our center in the world, so that each one of us can be that beacon of light. Always moving toward that greater cause of humanity, and if you like, of God, to create a world that works for everyone, where no one is left behind. And so knowing that that is within me, I do not need to question what I have not, or where I have been, or where I am going. I need to take stock here and now and move into the full blush of life that is constantly motivating me into my evolutionary becoming, of which I know not. So I declare for me, as I declare for each person here present, that I trust the process. It is divinely guided and knows a lot more than I do. So I open to listen. I open to listen. And I open to walk in my truth, whatever that may be in the moment, with an open, loving heart and an open, poised, receptive mind. And know that God's got this as me. So I am grateful for this knowing. I move into my day with gratitude, and I release this truth, knowing that the law of mind and action is already moving upon the truth of these words because they are based in principle. And I just let it go, and I let it be. And so it is. Amen. And so now, before I dash off to catch a plane to San Diego, I would like to invite Julia Mattis up front. Now, we are going to acknowledge Julia today as our virtual marketing assistant over these past 16 months. Whose time with us in the role is soon coming to an end. In addition to developing promotional strategies and marketing Sunday services, and all our programs and special events, she's taken upon herself to fly down here to support our community, such events as our 2025 Fall Fundraiser, the Arts Alive Gala, our recent Spring Peace Weekend, and Ricky Byers Concert Weekend. She has reconnected our center with the Willow Glen business community and has built lists upon lists of Excel spreadsheets, contacted everybody personally, built relationships with them, and is now in the process of introducing and turning all of these contacts, of which she has made of some donors and sponsors for our various events, over to our event and rental coordinator, Cheryl. So she's also been tech support, mostly to me, if the truth be known, during this time. And so, Julia, this is just a very, very small token from CSL San Jose to you for everything you've done for our community. And, not finished yet, we also want to support you in the next step of your journey. So I'm going to ask everyone if you would please stand. Now, what some of you may not know is that we're both hopping a plane to San Diego because at 4 o'clock, Julia is graduating into ministry. So if this feels comfortable for you, you can do it out loud, you can do it in the quiet of your own heart. I'm going to ask us all to do a chamber prayer and bless Julia on her way. So knowing that you are the perfect light of God, that there is nothing that stands between you and the sacred, that the sense of belonging that you carry within you is a bridge builder, and that everyone whose life you touch is a life that's felt. So knowing that you carry the high holy light of God, because there's nothing else you can possibly carry or be, I release the spirit of gratitude, knowing that your journey is blessed now and always. And so it is. Amen. All right. Bye, beloved community. I'll see you in a bit.
Thank you, Pamela. Sat there feeling like it's a Sunday morning, kind of calm and sunny. Thank you for your music. And thank you, Reverend Nadene, wherever she's now gone to, for the message that she gave. I took notes in my bulletin. I started out, am I an introvert? Wait, maybe and I'm an introverse. The main thing is that I belong to myself and become a bridge to belonging. That's what I got out of that. So, continuing our quarterly theme, which is cultivating inclusivity, next week will be Reverend Jennifer Bick with her message, The Lines We Never Drew, along with our featured guest, Etienne Franks, and our praise team and house band. And now, it's time for our conscious giving. We have an opportunity to participate in the law of circulation. We know that even though we have been taught that it is better to give than to receive, the most important idea is often missed, and that's knowing that we must receive first in order to give from a feeling of abundance. And so we invite you to receive a blessing of joy from your higher self when the basket goes by. Keep it with you all week long, and remember how much you are loved. Once you have drawn your joy blessing out of the small basket, you will be able to give your offering into the second basket beneath to complete the law of circulation through giving back. Ushers, will you please circulate the baskets? I invite you to invoke the feeling of gratitude through thoughts of life's abundance right where you are, allowing that to fill you and the space around you. all that's left is love. All that's left is love. Because your word has power, please join in blessing the offering by saying together our prosperity affirmation. The words are on the screen. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. All right, now as we are winding down our service, we have several announcements and ways in which you can get involved and be in community. First, and also I am to mention, if it's harder to see on the screen, we have these events listed in the bulletin, so you can follow along there as well and take notes. So first, I would like to invite up Audrey Wong to talk about an outreach event.
Thank you. Our outreach team for the summer event is going to be writing letters to the troops. And I'll read why we do this. To provide moral support to the U.S. troops with letters and greeting cards. The project entails our community writing letters of encouragement and prayers and then delivered to Operation Care and Comfort, a nonprofit group that delivers packages and letters sent from U.S. churches and charity organizations. When soldiers are deployed, they often feel isolated and disconnected from their loved ones. Receiving letters from home can help troops feel connected and appreciated, which is important to their mental health and well-being. So we will be providing starting next Sunday, writing pens, paper, but we do need, if you can bring blank cards and envelopes, if you have any spare, and we'll have like colorful paper and whatever to send a letter of prayer encouragement, and we'll have guidelines on how to do that. So we did a project like this before I came, but I found out it was wanting to be resurrected by our outreach team, Diane Malone. So next time you see her, please thank her. And we wrote letters as a community to the troops. And this, I wanted to read this because I think this is why we do what we do. This is a letter from Lieutenant Colonel Greg Ford, and this was back in 2014. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Greg Ford, and I'm one of the honored recipients of the cards and letters you provided to Operation Care and Comfort. I'm stationed in Afghanistan and want to thank you. I will be replying to each of the cards, but mail here is slow, so I'd like to thank Frida, Jan, and Sherry for their wonderful cards. Please know that these cards mean more to us than words can say, but that won't stop me from trying. Thank you so much, and know that your efforts are sincerely appreciated. And that was by Lieutenant Colonel Greg. So this is what we do. We do the bridge, like Reverend Nadene said. We are a bridge to other people in the world. So next 3 Sundays, right after service. Thank you.
Thank you, Audrey, and thanks to the outreach team. And now I'd like to invite Gus up for 2 special announcements.
Thank you, Marcia. Good morning, everybody. We are down to the wire. First, I want to say Happy Pride. Happy Pride all month long. We're down to the wire on our walk a mile in their shoes. So yes, I will be walking a mile in my fabulous shoes. I do have pride toes. I always have pride toes for the walk. We're going to walk a mile at Santana Row on Thursday. Show up, walk with us, have fun with us. I will be available in the fellowship hall to help with sponsoring. I can take checks, I can take cash. Probably gold coins, jewelry. No. Thanks everybody who has sponsored me. I really, really appreciate it. It's from 5 to 7 on Thursday at Santana Row, and we're just going to march around Santana Row and get cheered on by a bunch of wild people. My last announcement is Sparkle Bingo is back on Tuesday, and we're going to wear our favorite rainbow attire, if you have any. Whoever comes the most rainbowed out will get a little surprise. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you Thursday at the Walk and Tuesday at Bingo. Hi, Miss Jen.
Hi. I'll come up here. Hi. I'm here to make a couple announcements on behalf of the youth program. I am the director of the youth program here, and this Saturday night we're having an overnight for teens, age 13 to 18, and it's a really beautiful social gathering that gives teens an opportunity to dip their toe in the well that we have here of community. So we're inviting teens, even if they've never been here before, that they can register and see what we're all about. Again, it's ages 13 to 18. The cost is $35. Dinner and breakfast are included, and it's a lot of fun. These used to be called lock-ins, but we don't call them that anymore. They're now just called overnights. The second announcement is next Sunday, we are having our summer boutique. We didn't do a spring one, but we're having our summer boutique on the 14th and 21st. This is where we sell new and practically new items, and all the proceeds go to the youth program. We feature a lot of jewelry that Karol Field, I always get emotional. She makes the most beautiful jewelry, bracelets, necklaces. Oh, I'm wearing one of those too. She makes fabulous things, and she donates them all to the youth program. And you can get things with the Science Mind symbol on them. We also have home decor, garden materials, jigsaw puzzles and games, all sorts of fabulous things. And if you have items like that you know members of the community would throw a few dollars at, you can contact me or talk to me afterwards, and I can receive things this week to add to the boutique. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jen. And now, a couple more announcements. Reverend Nadene is offering a workshop on Tuesday, June 16th called Dissolving Our Defenses. What she says about it is that freedom is the emancipation of consciousness from all forms of self-generated conflict. Dissolving our defenses is a way to become masters of self-approving. And so that's Tuesday, June 16th. And then Reverend Nadene and I will be offering a book study starting Monday, June 15th, running for 6 weeks. The book we're going to go through is called Living Between Two Worlds by the mystic Joel Goldsmith. And we're offering this because many of us, including myself, sometimes feel like we're walking between two worlds, right? This outer world of responsibility and change and sometimes chaos, and knowing and wanting to live from that place that's peace and with spiritual connection. So this is what we'll be exploring. It's online only starting at 6 p.m. on June 15th. And then on June 20th, the special event, the Summer Solstice, Walking the Labyrinth, which is a great event that Reverend Maureen Ross has been giving the community for quite a while now. So the summer solstice is going to be celebrated with her on June 20th, where you can align with the energy of summer and the creative process by consciously tending your seeds of intention and sharing with your gratitude with light. And now for our last announcement, I'm going to ask our new event coordinator, Cheryl Amezquita, to come up.
Thank you. Hello. I know I was here last month, and many of you all met me, and now I've been here about 3 months, and I have to thank you all for how welcoming you've been. I came of a history of process improvements, so the cool part is the rental world is much more improved, and now we're ready to ask for people to help us. So I am generating a event team that's going to be focused on setup and tear down, because I'm manifesting that when this beautiful facility is not being used, it's going to be rented. But to do that, I need people to set things up and tear things down. So you'll see the email as the rentals at csls.org. Send that to me, send me your name, send me your phone number, and then I will get you on my list. And then as we start growing and we get more events, I'll reach out and let you know. And the cool part, we got board approval. This is a stipend, so you will get some money for coming to help. So if you've got people in your family, maybe those 20 and 30-year-olds that are a little more easy to pick up those tables, would love their help on that. I am off for a week. My daughter is graduating from college, so if you get the email and you don't hear back from me right away, know that I'll be back after the 17th, but please join my team. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Our rental capability is almost on the verge of thriving here. Thank you. All right, just a reminder that the outreach team is meeting today at noon in the Emerson room. And links to all of these events that I've been talking about are available on our website, cslsj.org, or you can visit the concierge desk after service over in Fellowship Hall. You can look in the bulletin. You can ask me. There's no excuses for not knowing. And just remember that you can listen to Reverend Nadine's talking to the beautiful music again today by going to our website. And Pamela has a table outside after Fellowship Hall, too, with music and anything else.
Well, my whole thing is youth, so I was really glad to meet Jenny today. Thank you. Number one, thank you for having me here today. It's been great communicating with Reese. But my table is, my dad said, once a man, twice a child. So I'm always with youth, and I'm always with older people, because I believe music is the one that keeps us all together and keeps us from Alzheimer's, dementia. And also I'll be conducting the Tri-City Youth Orchestra this summer. And a lot of kids can't afford their instruments, but the registration's kind of high. So any CD that you buy today, you can double it by contributing to help a student get an instrument, because I'm going to give them an instrument whether they have the money or not, but it would really help to make sure they get it and they respect it as something that they've earned. So I'll be over there. I'll be glad to talk to you, and there's my bio and all that good stuff. I'm not just a pretty violinist. I have some roots with music. I love music. I want to pass it on. Like I said, it's God's gift, and it's for the youth, and it's for everyone. So thank you for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us know how you're building bridges. Appreciate that. So now will the youth and teens come in, and the practitioners of the day come forward? And so you can look for a practitioner. I should ask all practitioners to stand, please. Right where you are. And if you look for a practitioner with the stole, they'll be available for prayer after service if there's something that you would like support for, or that you want to express great gratitude for. We also have a community prayer box in the back of the sanctuary here where you can write a prayer request, and it will be taken into prayer by our Ministry of Prayer team. And I want to thank those of you doing the youth and family today. Thank you very much. This being the first Sunday of the month, we celebrate people's birthdays who have birthdays in the month of June. So if those of you that have birthdays in the month of June, if you'll stand. So I'm going to stand. Oh, Marc. Oh, yeah. Marc. Me too. And we'll sing happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. And now I'd like to invite David Field, our practitioner of the day, number 2.
Number 2? Oh, that's right. Lena's number 1. We all know that. Nicely prayed. I invite you to stand as we close out with our 3 affirmations, call and response. Please repeat after me. I am open to listen to my truth. I am open to listen to my truth. I experience being whole in my own soul. I experience being whole in my own soul. I allow myself to be changed by my journey. I allow myself to be changed by my journey. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you. And I think, David, you're walking in Santana Row too, right? Okay, we'll see you all there.
So is Andy Deal. All that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. For it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all.
On behalf of our entire community, thank you for being part of our spiritual family today. Please join us in Fellowship Hall when the music ends so we can create a quiet space for those needing prayer. Once again, thank you for being here. See you next time.
All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing.